So, what's the real secret to success? I mean, really? Is it all about grinding it out, meticulous planning and just relentless hard work? Or is it more about being in the right place at the right time, just a sudden, incredible stroke of pure luck? It's a question that, honestly, people have been wrestling with forever.
On one hand, you've got hard work. That's the consistent, reliable stuff, the daily grind. It's the one thing we feel like we can actually control, right? But then, on the other hand, there's luck, that completely unpredictable lightning-in-a-bottle moment that can just change everything in a heartbeat. So where should we put our energy? Should we double down on our own efforts? Or should we be trying to set ourselves up to catch that lucky break? Well, it turns out an ancient Chinese fable has been exploring this exact dilemma for centuries, and it's got a lesson that still hits home today.
Our story kicks off in a pretty quiet field, where a farmer is just going about his day, an ordinary day that's about to be turned upside down by one extraordinary bit of fortune.
Okay, so picture this farmer. He was the definition of diligent. I mean, day in and day out, he was out there tending his crops. His entire life was built on this simple, proven formula. You put in the effort, you get a harvest. His world was predictable, and he was the master of it.
And then, one day, bam! A hare comes sprinting through the field, doesn't see a tree stump, and smashes right into it. Just like that, the farmer has a free dinner. He's absolutely ecstatic. And why wouldn't he be? This wasn't a reward for his hard work. This was a total gift from the universe, pure dumb luck.
But this lucky break, it plants a new and really dangerous idea in the farmer's mind. And this, right here, is the turning point of the whole story, where just a simple thought leads to a massive, life-altering decision. He starts thinking to himself, hey, will another rabbit come? And that simple question, it totally changes his entire mindset. He's no longer focused on what he can do, the planting, the watering, the harvesting. Now he's just obsessed with what he might get. And so he makes a huge bet. He just abandons his tried-and-true method of hard work. He puts down his tools, leaves his crops to fend for themselves, and makes waiting by that stump his new full-time job. He's basically trading diligence for destiny. It's kind of like the ancient version of quitting your job to play the lottery. This fable is so iconic. It actually gave us a famous Chinese idiom, 守株待兔, or 守株待兔. It literally translates to guarding a stump while waiting for a hare. And today, people use it to describe anyone who's just sitting around relying on chance for a windfall instead of actually taking action themselves. So, how'd that new strategy work out for him? The farmer traded the certainty of his harvest for the mere possibility of another rabbit. Let's see what that decision ended up costing him.
Okay, so one day passes. The farmer waits. 2 days go by. He's still watching that stump, full of hope. Then a third day passes. The silence in that field starts to feel heavy. And that initial excitement, it's starting to curdle into anxiety.
And then the stark reality just hits him. The rabbit never came again. That's the thing about random luck, right? It's not a system you can rely on. It was a total one-off event. And our farmer had tragically mistaken a fluke for a formula. But here's the real gut punch. While he was staring at that empty stump, his crops, his reliable source of food and income, all withered and died. So he didn't just fail to get another rabbit, he lost the harvest that was already pretty much guaranteed. And so, standing there in his now barren field with absolutely nothing to show for his wait, the farmer finally gets it. He finally understands the deep, timeless lesson of the stump and the hare. And here it is, the core message that's been passed down for generations. You can't rely on luck alone. You have to rely on effort. Think about it this way. Luck is a fantastic guest to have over, but effort is the one who actually lives in the house and pays all the bills. So, let's break this down. What are the big takeaways? First, success from hard work is repeatable. You can plant and harvest, year after year. Second, windfalls from luck are, by their very nature, completely random. You just can't count on them. And third, and this is the most critical part, abandoning your efforts while you wait for luck, that can cost you literally everything you've already built.
So this ancient story leaves us with a very modern and kind of personal question to ask ourselves. In our own lives, are we actively working in our fields, building our skills, growing our businesses? Or have we put our tools down to stare at a stump, just hoping for a viral video or for a stock to go to the moon or some other lucky break? It's a powerful thing to think about. What stump are you waiting at?